Good day all, I am Lijati. Today I am going to present about username requirement, password requirement, and file and folder permission policy and procedures. So the first part is show the tendency to use real name as a username, a maneuver that can lead to a trouble. When a hacker targets data during a breach kinda like breaking, they look for any kind of information they can easily capture, including username. The more common or obvious a username, the more easily it can be obtained. As one example, Snapchat was hit by a data breach in 2014, during which time the attacker downloaded 4.6 million username and phone numbers. As many people use their own names or surname as their usernames, they were easy for the hacker to identify. Further, cyber criminals who learn your username and phone number can launch social engineering attacks with such messages as, "You are receiving this SMS from Snapchat, and we need you to verify your password for account John Smith." Some websites will have introduced tighter security policy around username. In some cases, site will now determine if your username is unique. If not, the site won't let you register or set up an account. Next, some tips to choose more secure username offered by NordPass security expert. Don't just use your name as a username, like you can create your own word. Avoid using the beginning of your email address as your username. Your username should be simple enough to remember but hard to guess. Never use easy to guess numbers with your username, for example, address or date of birth. Don't use your social security number or ID number as your username. If you are struggling, try an online username generator. Next. Here is the example. Next. Password requirement. Next. A strong password is defined as a password that is reasonably difficult to guess in a short period of time, either through human guessing or the use of specialized software. Next. A strong password should be at least 8 characters in length, contain both upper and lowercase alphabetic characters, have at least one numerical character, and have at least one special character. A strong password should not have any word that can be found in a dictionary in any language, such as a, plan, or apple. A repeated character or a series of characters, such as AAA or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Personal information such as credit card number or birthday. The following are several recommendations for maintaining a strong password. Do not share your password with anyone for any reason. Consider using a passphrase instead of a password. A passphrase could be a lyric from a song or a favorite quote. For example, the passphrase, "My password is super strong," is 28 characters long and includes alphabetic, numeric, and special character. Avoid using the same password for multiple accounts. Next. File and folder permission policies and procedures. Next. The security policy defines the requirements to be placed on each system implementation. In this case, access control security policy requirement is defined the standard requirement for access control to be placed on electronic files. Two requirements should be defined: the mechanism that is required and the default requirement for new files. The mechanism may note that some form of user-defined access control must be available for each file on a computer system. The default configuration for a new file should specify how the permission will be established when a new file is created. There are basically 6 types of permission in Windows: full control, modified, read and execute, list folder contents, read and write, and the last one is list folder contents. Next. This is procedure to apply file and folder permissions. The first one is find a file and then right click it and then you click properties. Next. And then you click security and click advanced. Next. Click add and click select a principal. Next. Select user or group you want to set the permissions and click OK. Select the basic permissions or advanced permissions and then you click OK and then you are done. Yeah, that's all from me. And I want to pass to my friend Yu Jing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lee. So, hi all, I'm Cheong. Now I'm going to talk about the applying protecting data that helps against unauthorized use. So, next slide. So, based on the scenario, we have know that about three questions here. The first one is all the departments will set up same password for access, and it costs using same password for all departments. Actually, it is for the staff, but also is for hackers to access account. So the second one is vulnerabilities of system or program, and it will cause misappropriation of data. Like example, data breach will cause loss of data, like secret information or private data, and like password account information, and it will also cause steal of data, like steal users' identity. And the third one is detected some worms on company network. So worms can modify and delete files, and they can even inject additional malicious software onto a computer. And it will cause depleting system resources, such as hard drive space or bandwidth, by overloading a shared network. Next. So before we proceed with the report, so let us learn about what is data protection and unauthorized access. So what is data protection? It's the process of safeguarding important information from corruption, compromise, or loss. It became one of the primary concerns of organizations around the world today. Next. So what is unauthorized access? It refers to individuals gaining access to an organization's data, network, endpoints, application, or devices without permission. Broken or misconfigured authentication mechanisms are a main cause of access by unauthorized parties. The other common causes of unauthorized access, first one, like weak passwords selected by users or passwords shared across services. Social engineering attacks, primarily phishing, in which attackers send messages impersonating legitimate parties, often with the aim of stealing user credentials. Compromise accounts. Attackers often seek out a vulnerable system, compromise it, and use it to gain access to other, more secure systems. Insider threats. A malicious insider can leverage their position to gain unauthorized access to company systems. Use malware. Use botnets to gain unauthorized access to financial systems by stealing credentials, banking information, and financial data. And the last, Cobra Strike, a commercial penetration testing tool used to conduct spear phishing and gain unauthorized access to systems. So next slide. So here are the prevention methods of unauthorized access. So next, first one, keep update security patches, which means fix your security patch. A security patch is a change applied to an asset to correct the weakness described by vulnerability. A patch update one component of the software, perhaps to fix a bug or error discovered after product release. With the use of update security patches, users could have prevented giving unauthorized access for the system attacks. And it is important to ensure that you download the latest security patches and updates for your operating system and other software to protect it against cyber attacks. And you can also enable automatic updates so that whenever a security patch or update is released, the system will automatically install it and update to the latest version. And by staying prepared and update, you can protect your data from those trying to get unauthorized access to it. So next slide. So what's the importance of security patching? It will reduce exposure to cyber attacks. A cyber attack can seem like an impossibility until it becomes a reality. It can feel like a cyber attack come out of the blue without warning, but quite often security patches are available before hackers exploit a vulnerability and use it to infiltrate systems. And the next one, and the next important of security patching is avoid lost productivity. One unexpected consequence of cyber attacks is the lost productivity that results from system downtime. In this way, a cyber attack can lead to two types of monetary losses: the cost of patching system and the cost of delayed projects and unproductive employees. And the third one is protect your data. Don't underestimate the value of data stored on your device. Hackers can use personal information from one system to gain access to another, especially if they gain login information from a person who uses the same credential for multiple systems. And the next one, protect customer data. Business have a responsibility to safeguard the information used and trust to their system. There can be severe consequences of companies that they fail to live up this standard. And the last, protect others on your network. Once a worm infiltrates a computer network, it can spread quite rapidly to other devices connected to your network. In this way, one unpatched system or unvigilant user can cause disastrous consequences to an entire network of systems. So next slide. So the next method is to apply two-factor authentication. And as you see the image, there's a Google verification, and it will send a 6-digit code to your message or your email. So two-factor or multi-factor authentication is an additional login code for an account works as an extra step in their process, a second security layer that will reconfirm your identity. Two-factor authentication tries to address that flaw by requiring a secondary code called a one-time password (OTP), usually 6 characters in length and generated by smartphone app before you can gain access to your account. And that way, even if a hacker has your password, they will still need to crack a secondary code, which makes hackers getting hard to access. So next slide. So what is the authentication factors? Something that you know. This could be a password, a PIN code, or answer to secret questions. Something that you have is always related to a physical devices such as token, a mobile phone, SIM, a USB stick, a key, fob, and ID card. Something that you are is a biological factor such as a face or voice recognition, fingerprint DNA, handwriting, or retina scan. However, some of these are quite expensive, so unless you work in the top secret Mission Impossible kind of facility, you probably don't have this kind of authentication method implemented. So conclusion for uh, applying two-factor authentication, adding one more step of authenticating your identity make it harder for an attacker to access data. This drastically reduce the chance of fraud, data loss, or identity thief. Next slide. The last method, encrypt never system. Never encryption is the process of encrypting or encoding data and messages transmitted or communicated over a computer network. It to it used to ensure that the messages are unreadable when it transits between two or more network nodes. By encrypting network traffic, you can ensure that it cannot be intercepted by an attacker who might be snooping on the network traffic. However, network traffic in server-to-server communication and inside data centers is often not encrypted. If an attacker gains access to such a network, they could intercept data in transit between servers in a multi-machine cluster. So to prevent attackers from snooping on data with unauthorized access, organizations are increasingly monitoring their own network traffic to detect intrusions. So companies might store copies of network traffic for long periods of time in their monitoring system, may also use VPN layer between the user and system or implement a TLS, Transport Layer Security, to encrypt network traffic. Inside the system, communication can be secure using Pbe Sad, which is IP security, TLS, Transport Layer Security, or some other VPN technology. So conclusion for encrypt network system, it's used to protect the confidentiality of digital data stored on computer system or transmitted over the internet or any other computer network. So above was my presentation. Thank you.
Daniel Haziq, and I'm going to present about how an encryption can protect data from being altered and how malicious software protection program can protect against intrusion. Okay, based on a scenario given, we can ensure that the company's data has been altered or stolen by an outsider before. One of the ways that the company can protect their data from being altered by an outsider is by using encryption. Next. What is encryption? Encryption is a way of scrambling data so that only authorized parties can understand the information. In technical terms, it is the process of converting plain text to ciphertext. In simpler terms, encryption takes readable data and alters it so that they appear random. Encryption requires the use of an encryption key, a set of mathematical values of that both of the sender and the recipient of an encrypted message know. This is an example. See, this is a plain text or hello. If we encrypt it, it will become a ciphertext like this. Okay, although the encrypted data appears random, encryption process proceed in a logical, predictable way so that the party receiver receiving the encrypted data and in possession of the key used to encrypt the data can decrypt the data, turning it back into the plain text. Truly secure encryption will be complex enough that a third party is highly unlikely to decrypt the ciphertext by brute force. In other words, by guessing. Next. Next. Next lagi one. Okay. Commonly used encryption algorithm include Bluefish, AES, RC4, RC5, and R66. DES, and to fish. Next. How an encryption can protect data from being altered. Encryption protect data by converting it into a cipher, rendering it unreadable without the proper encryption key. In addition, encryption can be used to identify the origin of data and determine if it has been altered. The advanced encryption standard, which short form to AES, is a widely used asymmetric block cipher that use 128, 192, and 256 bit. 256 bit. Cryptographic keys. Symmetric means that the same key is used for both encryption and decryption. So the sender shares the key with the receiver. Block means that the encryption key and algorithm uh, are applied to blocks of data rather than byte by byte. The data goes through a multiple round of processing. 10 for 128 bits, 12 for 192 bits, and 14 for 256 bits to create the cipher. These details are important when it comes to selecting the encryption solution. All the standards that use 56-bit keys are highly vulnerable. A hacker could crack the cipher through brute force in a matter of hours. Organizations should use strong AES and encryption to ensure robust data protection. Encryption keys should also be properly protected using a key store with strong password and other access controls. Next. Website should be secured using HTTPS recognizable by the log icon in the browser bar. HTTPS combine Hypertext Transfer Protocol (HTTP) with the Transport Layer Security (TLS) encryption to authenticate website and protect data transmission. WordPress, the popular blogging platform, has just enabled encryption by default on 600,000 sites, and the federal government plan to have HTTPS on its website by the end of this year. Organization must be careful to use a current version of TLS. However, older version of TLS and secure socket layer SSL encryption have so many security holes that they should not be used at all. Organizations are used encryption primarily to protect databases, internet communication, data center storage, internal network, laptop hard drive, backup, and archive and email. The top driver for encryption use include regulatory compliance, intellectual property protection, cyber threats, and customer privacy. Next. Same as encryption, the company can also install or use malicious software protection programs to protect their data against intrusions. Next. What is a malicious software? The word malicious software coins the word malware and the meaning remain the same. Malicious software refer to any malicious program that cause harm to a computer system or network. Malicious malware software attacks a computer or network in many forms. Their mission is often targeted at accomplishing unlawful tasks such as robbing protection data, deleting confidential document, or add software without the user consent. Next. There are different types of malicious software. First is a computer virus. Second is worms. Third is Trojan horses. Fourth is a spyware. Five and six are basically the spyware and the adware is basically the same. And final is a rootkit. Next, what is a malicious software protection program and how can it protect against intrusion? Next. Malware security protection provide a second vital layer of a protection for your computer or network. A robust antivirus software package is the primary component of a technological defense that every personal and business computer system should have. While designed antivirus protection has several characteristics, it checks any newly downloaded program to ensure that it's malware-free. It periodically scans the computer to detect and defeat any malware that might have slipped through. It is regularly updated to recognize the latest threat. Good antivirus protection can also recognize and warn against even previously unknown malware threats based on the technical features such as attempting to hide on the computer that are characteristic on malware. In addition, robust antivirus software detects and warns against a suspicious website, especially those that may be designed for phishing, a technique that tricks a user into entering password or account numbers. Next. Finally, a malware protection need to be usable. Effective antivirus software must be simple to download and install. So no one need to be a PhD in computer science in order to use it. Look for antivirus software solution that have the characteristic outlined above and follow through by still installing it. Robust malware protection specifically regards your finances. This tool safeguard your account information and can also provide password management tools so that the frustration over forgotten password does not lead you to skip over this essential component of protection. No protection is absolute, but a combination of personal awareness and well-designed protection tool will make any computer as safe as it can be. Okay, that's all from me. Now I'm going to pass to Ridwan to present.
Okay, hello. My name is Muhammad Ridwan bin Yaakob. I'm going to present about the budget. Why having the budget to ensure adequate fund allocation for cybersecurity. A separate cybersecurity budget ensure the fund can be siphoned off from other IT requirement. Second is to track security related to expenditure accuracy. Some security relevant processes are often carried out by personnel not directly associated with the IT team. Example, HR team spending on security training. They are often lumped into different expense line. Having your own IT security budget will help you track all your security related expenditure, software, hardware, patch, data cleaning, and recovery under one line item. This will help you better track your security spending and identify area that need more or less investment. Okay. The third one is to support security audit or estimate ROI. Uh, Security budget help track various planned and unplanned security related expenditure. This make conducting security audit easier since you can have a record of all your security spending. It also help demonstrate your ROI as well as identify the under-invested area that you need to budget for in the coming year. So our budget for this project is around 60K. So the express is coding is the car space kit endpoint security for business advanced software that costs around 23,100 ringgit for 100 not per year, means 100 PC per year. So and the second one is to the 32 PoE camera with TV installation that cost around 28K. 988 ringgit. Okay. Okay, about the Kaspersky endpoint security for business urban software. The Kaspersky is a global cybersecurity company found in 1997. Kaspersky deep threat intelligence and security expertise is constantly transforming into innovative security solution and service to protect business, critical infrastructure, and government and consumer around the clock. The company comprehensive security portfolio including leading endpoint protection and a number of specialized security solutions and service to fight sophisticated and evolving digital threat. Over 400 million users are protected by Kaspersky technology, and they have around 250,000 corporate clients protect what matter most to them. Okay, here is the award of them during this year. They got, okay, they got a MITR attack. MITR evaluation confirm the quality of efficacy solution. So they got the customer choice and for the peer insight. So about the software we're going to use is about the integrated endpoint security delivery and effective defense against advanced threat targeting your organization. Without sketching your result, our multi-layer approach combine a full stack of powerful protection and detection and response technology in one tight integrated solution. Protect our data against attacker. The granular control with a category-based whitelisting database make it easier to enforce policy, specify which application and online resource the user can access, and when. If your administrator choose to modify the policy setting, the security advisor will advise on any potential pitfall, which invite any potential problem in the future. So this innovative technology means that very large number of incidents can be dealt with fast and effectively, leaving to our IT specialists free to focus only on the that really require human input. So here is the one of the option where we get if we use the capacity integrated endpoint security. So yes, flight required for reported incident, discover previous encryption attack, easy understand an incident scope and impact. So this is